Alright, so this is the story of Peter Griffin, sad bully cry story. So basically, Peter Griffin, he was born in a hospital, a little hospital, and his parents didn't even come to his birthplace. His parents didn't even come to when he was born, neither did the doctor. So he was all alone when he was born. So, um, he had to go on his winter arc and get really tough, to make up for the fact that he had no family or friends. And then one day, he went to Kmart to buy some stuff. I don't even know what they sell at Kmart, but he went to buy some stuff. So, um, he was at Kmart and he was like, "Oh yeah, let me get this little piece of chicken that was on the floor." And then he saw a little cameraman guy from Gmod Skibidi Toilet, Plunger Man, I think his name was, and Plunger Man offered him a deal. He was like, "Hey, we can be partners if you promise to give me that piece of chicken that you found." And so Peter obviously agreed. Even though he really wanted the chicken, he obviously agreed because that's the only good option he can make in his life. So the business started off really small. It was like some awesome stuff. They sold pieces of chicken for people in need. So eventually it grew bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually they had like a big building that they worked in. And Plunger Man he worked with all the business. He did the actual stuff and helped people. Well, meanwhile Peter was in the back and he was hacking people's accounts, and he was hacking like their Roblox accounts, and he was getting them banned and stealing all their stuff. And he was getting a bunch of money out of it, and it was illegal, but we forgive him because he said sorry. He didn't give any of the accounts back, he just said sorry. um, then eventually, their Peter Griffin and Plungerman's friendship grew really distant, and they grew apart, and then, they eventually Peter Griffin was like, "Hey yo, what's up, Plungerman? You want to go out to Cheezer's and get a grilled cheese deluxe?" Plungerman was like, "No, I gotta do some paper." And then Peterman was Peterman was suspicious. He was like, "Ayo, that's sus." So he peeked inside the door to see what Plungerman was actually doing in his free time, and he saw that Plungerman was actually gathering an army of skibidi toilets to defeat Peter because he knew Peter was so powerful because of that tough winter arc that he went on. So he wanted to kill Peter and steal all of his hacking abilities and get it all for himself. So basically, um, Peter saw that and he got really sad and he ran away. Okay, basically he got really angry and sad and he ran away. And meanwhile, Plunger Man was still building up his army and he was teaching them how to fight and stuff. And then one day, Peter was playing Fortnite on his gaming computer, and then suddenly a Plunger Man came up and he was like, "Hey, oh Peter, where you been the last few months or years? I mean, yeah, days. I don't know." And Peter was like, "Oh, nothing, just chilling up here, just playing my game." So Plunger Man was like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna kill you now with my skibidi toilets." So, um, uh, Peter Griffin got really angry and he started drinking a lot of Prime. He started chugging it down and getting really powerful. And eventually he grew so big that he exploded. He broke down the building and it collapsed, and Plunger Man fell from the great height and smacked on the floor. And he was so sad that his friend Peter was now more powerful than he could ever be, and he could never defeat him. So Peter killed Plunger Man, I think, and then he low-key just was a chill guy after that. He didn't do anything else. But uh
Well, hey,
Broccoli. Run on.
Let me smell your breath.